let's talk about the most exciting thing on the face of this earth. What is it? Brake line. Okay, maybe the average Joe doesn't think about brake line from day to day, but we certainly do. I was thinking to myself, how can we make the perfect brake line? Because we've bought brake line from this manufacturer, and we didn't like this one, you didn't like this one, or we like pieces from this one. To make a long story short, we've taken everything we love about a brake line, which for the average Joe, you're probably like, what are you talking about? I'm going to show you, and we put them into our brand new ProBuild brake line. These brake lines will work for basically any two-wheeled vehicle as long as the brake line is long enough. That includes Honda Ruckuses, Chuckuses, any scooter, a motorcycle. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to start by showing you the sweetest feature on this ProBuild brake line that there is. If you notice, the ProBuild brake line is attached to the brake caliper. We've been running this for hundreds of miles. The brakes work great. It's been bled. Check this out. There's this contraption here. It's quick disconnect. Push down, give it a turn, and it disconnects just like an air hose on an air compressor. You've got that sucker without any drippage, anything like that. This makes it great for replacing the tire, pulling the wheel off, changing bars, just doing any type of replacements without losing pressure. To install it, you just line the pins up, give it a push down, and it locks back into place. So that is one of the top features of this. Not to mention, this whole brake line is steel braided. Let me improvise. So here's the fitting up close. It's really nice because before you crank this sucker down, you can actually twist this whole unit. Very, very important because on a traditional brake line, if you're trying to twist it, you're going to twist the whole entire hose. Another feature that we added that was a must. So once you've got the angle correct, you can crank this sucker down and it's not going to spin anymore. To disconnect this guy, you just push and turn, and it totally disconnects just like as if it was a air compressor fitting or something like that. A little different, but same idea. The other cool thing is we don't just use a standard banjo bolt, whereas if you install it, you only have a few threads poking out. Like if I add the extra washer, you literally have only a few threads to work with. We include the crush washer, of course, and the longer aluminum banjo fitting. So see how much room you've got now? So that's included, of course. But to install this sucker, very, very easy. Just line the pins up, push, turn, and it locks into place. So that's the quick disconnect that's included on our ProBuild brake line. The other end of this brake line has a removable 28-degree, this is what's going to come standard, the 28-degree banjo fitting. Now, say you didn't want that and you wanted a 90-degree. You can do the 90-degree instead. They simply unscrew, real nice and easy. Just like that. You choose. Now, I'm just going to screw this back on here. Going back to, if you don't know how important this is, you probably have never done any type of custom brake line. But being able to pivot this banjo, very, very, very important. Unlike, I'll go back to our original line like this. This is a press fit on a basic line here, and if you pivot it, the whole brake line pivots. And of course, we provide the stainless steel banjo bolts and the crush washers that fit the brake line perfectly. Check this out. So you get two different sizes with the hose. You get the short one and the long one. The long one's going to go for the quick disconnect. Another absolute must when we do a custom brake line is it needs to be stainless steel braided. So this is stainless steel braided. It's got a black coating over the top, but there is a stainless steel braid. The reason why you would do that is because on a rubber line, when you hit the brakes really hard, that hose expands, kind of like blowing into a balloon. And you're not going to get instant brake pressure. And you're going to feel the brakes better on the stainless steel, and it looks nicer, and it's a lot more thin. So black steel braided brake line is included. So there it is, the ProBuild Perfect Brake Line. Did I miss anything? We've got the quick disconnect with the steel braided black brake line. you've got the removable ends that are pivotable. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've included everything you would ever want in a brake line. If not, I'd like to hear about it. Also include the M10 by 1.25 banjo bolts. By the way, if you don't have an M10 by 1.25, which is pretty standard, we've got a whole slew of these banjo bolts to choose from. Now all you got to choose is if you want your brake line end to have a 90-degree fitting or the standard 28-degree fitting. And you need to decide, do you want the 29-inch brake line or do you want the 40-inch brake line? The 29-inch is going to be for you lowered bar ruckus guys, cafe bar, pretty standard for the custom ruckuses. Or if you have tall bars or just a standard scooter, the 40-inch brake line. If that Pro Build line was too much freaking fanciness for you to shake a stick at, we do have our Rolling Wrench brake line as well. Still really good line. And just for reference, Rolling Wrench is our brand too. Pro Build is the one-up of Rolling Wrench. We're competing against ourselves basically. This is our standard 25-inch brake line. It's got the 90-degree fixed banjo fitting, so that means it's not pivotable. When you twist it, it's going to twist the line. Still really good line, but not quite as fancy. And on the other end, you just have a straight banjo fitting. It'll come with both banjo bolts with crush washers. So that's sweet for our lowered ruckuses. Then we've got our 86-inch rear disc brake line. Same thing. We've got the banjo bolts and the crush washers to go with it. It's got a 90-degree end, and on the other end, we've got a 28-degree. So we've got those on the website as well. I just added all of this to the website, and I put links in the description to all the products. Rolling Wrench brake line, Pro Build Perfect brake line, the banjo fittings, all that, link in the description. Don't forget to do a freaking, grab your sledgehammer and do a spinning bicycle kick into a roundhouse onto the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little blue bell that's right on the side so you get notified when new videos come out. If it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't do this kind of stuff. I love product development. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.